Some analysts say the polls did not account for the so-called undercover Trump voters. Maybe we're embarrassed to say that they supported the Republican nominee, or maybe no one was listening to them in the rural areas of America where they came out in numbers we've never seen, the Florida Panhandle. Other analysts say Democratic turnout was simply lower than the pollsters expected, while Trump beat turnout predictions. The exit polls show white women and evangelicals came out for Trump in a big way. Let's bring in John Bussey, the associate editor of the Wall Street Journal newspaper, to live it, 10 storylines in a night, and to watch it unfold in this great American experience was extraordinary.
Yeah, it was remarkable, wasn't it?
It was.
And, you know, it may have come down also for the pollsters. They're wondering, okay, how did we all get this wrong? There was an LA Times poll that got it right, but most of the pollsters got it wrong. And one factor was that, look, he was a controversial character.
Yes.
He was saying stuff that was really...
Didn't sound like our America.
It didn't sound like our America, and it wasn't like our America,
No.
and it was vulgar at times, and you know, he was talking about, you know, assaulting, you know, sexually assaulting, you know, women. All of that got some voters in a position when somebody called them up. They said, you know, I haven't decided, or I'm
don't
gonna
talk to me.
Yeah, don't talk to me. I'm not going to say that I support Trump, when in fact they were supporting Trump. And these were people.
And yet I'm in a reality where I look around my neighborhood. What are my kids going to do? The factories are closed. I don't see any hope. Our schools are deteriorating. I've been talking to politicians for years. I have nowhere to put them. So what am I supposed to do? I don't have any alternative. I tried last time. It didn't work. Now here we are. I have one thing to do. I'm not going to talk to you about it right now, but we got to have a change, and that's what I'm doing. But I'm not telling you
that was it. And also you know, they didn't vote for Obama or Mitt Romney the last time, and the presumption for some pollsters were that they were very unlikely to vote again, when in fact they were just waiting for that to happen, right? For that type of candidate to come along.
How can
they engage with? Look, here's another polling you know, instance. Business last night, the markets sold off.
It was terrifying.
Right? We were watching this thing as Trump got closer to winning. The markets went from a 300, the futures index on the Dow and the S&P, but the futures index on the Dow was down 300, 400, 5, 6, 7, 800 points.
5%.
Now take a look at it. So
we're up 300. And you know what I figured that was? For months, we've been hearing from the smarty analysts of finance that if he's in there, everything's going to hell. But no one thought he was going to be in there, so they never really thought of it. Then when it went to hell, all the people who moved money said, oh, wait, they told me everything's going to hell. Sell, sell, sell. And then they woke up.
Hedge my bets. Yeah, that's right.
And then they woke up and said, oh, wait, the sun came up. Wait. The American process endures, and the fundamentals are still the same. Buy it all back.
Yeah, well, a lot of that happened, and part of it also was that they were ready for the status quo in the Clinton administration. There was gridlock in Washington, and they would just kind of deal with it, right? They had heard him talking about positive things, like a tax cut from 35% to 15%.
And they liked it.
For business. Well, they liked it, but they really hadn't metabolized that in their decision-making because they didn't think he was going to get elected. All that money overseas, repatriating those funds at a one-time 10% tax hit, which would fund some of the infrastructure spending that he wants to do in the United States. All these things just seem kind of, you know, airy-fairy because
not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Well, then today comes along and they begin to think about it. And this is partly the result of that. But also, you know, some businesses, Boeing, Procter & Gamble, wrote a letter sponsored by the National Association of Manufacturers.
While you're speaking, the market just hit a brand new high never before seen in the history of this nation.
It's called the Bussey effect. They wrote a letter. Look, there's still a great deal of anxiety within business, right? So the polling within business isn't over yet. But the polling got it wrong, or maybe just overreacted last night, the way human emotion gets into it or overreacts at times.
Where are we now? I would assume there's a period of volatility, there's uncertainty, there will be change. Markets get weird when that happens.
Yeah, so the business community particularly is going to be looking for signals. Who are you going to put in charge of Treasury? Who are you going to put in charge of Commerce? Are these just jobs being handed off to your surrogates who did your job for you in the field, but aren't necessarily qualified, you know, to do the jobs? Or are you putting people in there that business and that the public can feel confident in? Is there an opening up? You know, his comments last night, I got to reach out, I want to make sure everybody feels part of this administration. It was a pretty quick summary of that. He didn't dwell on that.
No. As
long as perhaps those who had lost might have wished he had dwelled on it. If that comes, if there's more of that sort of expression as well, things begin to settle down.
Thank you for your participation on the Fox Broadcast Network last night.
Pleasure. It was very interesting.
It was an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, quite historic.
More